everything that like I have put away as much as I can, but we recognize that there's implications. And so every day, some implication comes to the surface. And the implication being around that, like we kind of said, I wouldn't have been allowed to be around certain people, which that just implies then, doesn't it?
Well, and it does.
And so then there's just that element. So on the one hand, that's a lot of my days was dominating that aspect of my mind, which is something coming up. And then it kind of almost makes me have to completely dissociate from that because it just is. Like it's a part of my story right now. So then as I try to move forward, I recognize why my energy would feel fractured because there's a part of me that I keep demanding of myself, like, you've got to have hope. Like if you can't be on a website, like a dating app, or you can't go meet people and every question is, are you? No, are you? Are you part of it? Are you part of it? Then I can't live like that. And so then it goes into almost this, like, it probably seems fake or feels a little bit off, but there's almost this like optimism that I have to have faith in. I have to believe in, because if I don't, I feel that just being a thing. You know what I mean? Because it's, I don't know how to say this, like I talk about this a lot in my classes, but it's sort of that no man's land between like what's back and what's forward, but you're not either yet.
Exactly.
And that's what I feel, but not in a upset way. It's almost like it's hard for me, especially with you, because it's like, I want you to see, if I feel okay, then I want you to see me as the most okay I can be, or whatever, or it's like, and I do feel okay. Like there are parts of my day where I feel really, really okay.
Right.
And then in equal space, there's parts where like we talked about before, where like the darkness is right there to touch if I want, but I've been choosing to not. Exactly. Because I'm happier.
Well, and that's true. And again, it's not that, we don't want you to forget that the darkness ever existed, but to realize that you've moved past the darkness. It's still kind of in the fabric of your life, but it's not what you're currently in. Do you see? It's kind of like, when I look at it like the fabric, what I mean is it's kind of if you could equate it to just a vision of that was the jacket you wore at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But the jacket doesn't get worn now, and the jacket is no longer in your closet. So we can't mourn the jacket that's out of the closet. We have to let the jacket in the closet go. So I know that's a very simplistic way of looking at a very heavy emotion. And we all have to go through the dark night of the soul sometimes, right? And I understand that. The most important thing we gain from that, though, is a clearing of it. We can't make it like an every Monday night or Tuesday morning thing where we rehash the same coat.
Mm-hmm.
But and again, and I want to make sure I'm clear in the way I'm hearing it from my guides and to be helpful and useful. The trauma is always going to be there. The reminder of the coat is always going to be there. Hell, we even have pictures of us in the coat sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have bases to really be comfortable and also very concerned about that emotion, that coat, that overlay that goes to our energy.
Mm-hmm.
But when we come to a place where we know the overlay, the coat is of no value. It doesn't fit anymore. It's frayed. It's outdated.
Mm-hmm.
And it no longer serves any good. It doesn't keep you warm nor cold. It just serves nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have to take the coat, not put it in our closet necessarily, but to release it so it's no longer what we see or value in a day. And that's the hardest part, because as trauma victims, one of the things that we want to do is to go and hug the coat and cry with the coat and, sit in the sofa, eat popcorn with the coat. But the true reality is the coat can go. It's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna. It's not gonna. It's not gonna wipe away all the memories. It's not gonna erase all the trauma. But it doesn't have to be nurtured in the healing process. Does that make a little bit of sense?
It does, and I guess this is the way I've been doing it, and I thought that it was appropriate, but if you're saying it's not, like I'm
Well,
always going to take your perspective.
Well, sweetie,
But
you recognize that you've got to do it the way that works best for you. But when we come to conclusions and finalizations, sometimes we have to double check to make sure we're not doing something that's going to be um, just another form of trauma, another exit from one trauma door to another trauma door.
is
So, in other words,
is that what you feel that I've done?
A little bit.
In that you do not think this is a good idea.
I don't see where Sterling is right now.
Okay.
Because Sterling is taking on a persona that is unlike, or not unlike, let me rephrase that, that is not common to Sterling. Sterling is more rigid, more taken back, more absent, less front of the view, but more in the back of the view. Does that make sense?
It does, which
more guarded, more reserved. So if that is a true next persona, then welcome it. But I'm not sure it's who you really truly are either. Your bubbly nature and your fun side and your happy-go-lucky side is not facade. It's kind of your nature. And so in dealing with trauma, sometimes we feel that we've got to be more serious. We've got to have, no emotion about this, and which trickles into no emotion about other things. So again, Rome wasn't built in a day, nor is trauma solved in a month or a year, or sometimes never. But more than anything, we have to recognize, are we replacing the trauma with something positive? Or are we just replacing the trauma with something that has to be negated later, that has to be worked out again later?
And just in the sake of full transparency, are you referring to me as an individual, or you're referring to somebody I've invited into my life recently?
Well, I'm not sure of who you invited, but I feel very guarded about it.
Mm-hmm.
My guides are, the hair on my back of my neck, it's the equivalent of the bristles. And I'm a little guarded about that. Again, and I use a lot of associations so that people can see kind of different ways of looking at this. It's kind of like if your car breaks down consistently for, like we had for 6 months, you don't go buy a car the same age and think the problems aren't going to come back to you later. Do you see? You don't go buy that same car in a different color and expect a different result. You expect something to be returned in the same manner. It's what's comfortable. And we get comfortable in trauma. So we wouldn't want to go and replace something we're getting rid of with something not much better.
Well, I the thing that kills me about that is it's just like, then I've just got to do it alone. Then I just like.
No, you don't need to do it alone, but you have to be present when you're doing it. See, stepping away from, and I understand, and again, and this feed is, it's kind of, again, we're raw coverage, we're raw footage.
Yeah.
And I understand where you're coming from, but what I want to convey to you is that it's very easy to get lost in a secondary persona that actually is never yours to begin with. So if I had to go deep and tweak some chords here and make some more tears without intentionally wanting to,
yeah, of course,
I would say your energy is getting more distant, more retracted, less available. And sometimes when that happens, we'll end up trying to reinvent ourselves in a way that isn't really complimentary, but no one will be seeing it. Nobody's watching. Do you see?
Right. Well, in this connection that I made, the reason I did it was because I was trying to just not be alone, and B, like, I've been so honest and so myself at the exclusion of caring about the opinion of it. And I thought, and I've enjoyed myself doing that because it almost feels like, fuck it, who cares? Like, it's almost like because of what's just recently happened, I don't have it in my energy to try and create a facade or like protect that I do this. It's the first time that I've just thought, I'm just going to do this so that I'm not alone and enjoy being around another person, while I recognize also that I feel like I'm falling apart and I'm doing what I can to address that. But it's kind of like,
Okay.
it's not working for me to just be in my room alone and like
Oh, no, and I'm not
trying to
saying
do
it
that.
is either. Just remember that more often than not, superficial relationships are built when the backdrop of it is to release trauma or
Mm,
loneliness or worry. You're not grabbing from the gene pool of A, you're grabbing from the gene pool of C. Okay? Because you're not in the mindset to pick what you would keep. You see? Because you're just trying on coats right now.
mm,
Okay?
mm.
You're
And
trying on coats. You're trying to get in there and go, well, okay, I don't have a coat now. What the hell am I going to do? I don't want a bad coat. I don't want a frayed coat that I wore for many years. I want a new coat, but I'm pissed off and I want to go get a coat. Give me a coat, damn it. Where's my coat? You're a coat. I want a coat. I need a coat. Give me a coat.
well, I was
And
really
I'm not,
honest about that on the front end too. I was like, we're not in a position to do much else but enjoy each other.
and that's okay. That's perfectly okay. As long as the mindset stays there. Because in 2 months, when it blows up, because it was there for just for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Season and reason, just like some of our guides.
Yeah.
When it's there temporarily, we can't go in hindsight and go, "Damn, another loser," or "Why
No.
did I do that?" and kick ourselves in the butt, and start saying the coat didn't fit. Oh my God, what did I do? Is it me? Did I gain weight? Did I lose my perspective?
Mm-hmm.
You see, when we don't dive in the gene pool of A, we're going to get what we're not wanting,
Yeah.
but we're going to have
No.
something temporary. Does that make sense? And as long as it's, in other words, go enjoy the buffet, okay? But at some point, recognize you're not a buffet gal.
No.
Does that make
No.
sense? And I'm not picking on anyone who loves buffets. Really, I don't want to hear about that later
No, I
in
love
life.
buffets
Okay,
too.
I don't care. I didn't get this size for not liking buffets. So, so, so my point being, um, there's trauma that's not erased yet. But I'm going to tell you, there is nobody, and I say this sounds really ugly, but please know where I'm coming from. There is nobody that created your trauma that's sitting there crying with you.
No, I know, right? I thought about that.
Not one of them. And that's ripping the Band-Aid off, and I get that. But realistically, if they were sorry, you would have already heard from them,
Oh yeah.
right?
I mean, and the crying has not really been, it's more just about like like the memory, like the fact that I've read all my life about the darkness around red shoes and why they're so dark and all the reasons for it. And then I'm going through these photos and I'm always in these glittering red shoes that are from like in every photo. Or, you know, I was always having to wear shirts that had this giant butterflies on them. And so then as these memories come back, you're just kind of sitting there thinking, this is and like, or I couldn't figure out, all around my house, everywhere were these roosters. Well, I didn't realize that, but that's a huge calling card in pedophilia. So it's just all it now. It's like I feel, and I'm like looking to talk to somebody. Like I need to, because I'm not doing great. It's not going awesome. It's not going terribly, and I'm not doing anything overly destructive, at least the way I usually do. But I just feel like I'm really fighting the feeling of being haunted, because it's not that I'm dancing with the ones that I feel I've mastered, which is how I feel about the family itself. It's that I feel like I got what I did know taken from me, because now none of it can be pretty or okay. So as I try to step away from that, and I'm very good at, like, that's one of the things of like, I've really proven to myself that I do have a sense of that's not helping, and I don't judge myself for it, but I do, like, the other day, I just told a student this, like, right before we got on this call, that the other day, I caught myself doing it 6 times where I tried to think about the past. And then I just kept fighting myself and kept not letting myself do that,
Good.
because it's not going to do good.
It's
And
not going to change anything right now.
but I've been very disciplined to not go down that path. And I know I stop myself super fast, and then I kind of get my trajectory back going. And I haven't been struggling with that super hard. but it's not like it's not there. And I keep getting tempted. Like I want to write my brother. I want to say like, come find me when you realize the past isn't what you thought. Like I want him to be able to go to somebody or find the truth, So it's like, there are just these things that the meat and potatoes, I feel like I've managed, but sometimes it gets a little bit sparky. And so then I wonder, like, I know it's not healthy for me to go and try to find companionship, but I kind of don't know, it's just very challenging.
It is, my dear, and I really and I love you to pieces, and I understand that. But remember, not being alone doesn't always mean finding a man either.
No, I know. And I joined a run club. I'm doing like, and that's been amazing too. It's like every Saturday, Sunday, I go to like Grapevine and I run with them. And then I sit with them and drink coffee and like we chat, like, and then everyone just kind of disperses. And I'm seeking community. Like I've kind of been thinking about going to church, not because of that but that everybody there is also seeking to like be kind to each other for the most part.
Right.
So
is that why you don't reach out anymore?
I don't know. I don't want to be like on anybody. Like I feel like this is so messy and it's so dark. And I don't know how to just bring it up to people or just feels like it's so weird. So if I just hit you up randomly and I'm like, it's like you could be in the middle of a day and then this is the darkest thing that anybody could discuss.
We're all in the middle of a day, right? That's not going to change anything. If you need me, you need me. But see, when you have trauma and you pull away from the people that you typically go to, or you wanted to go to, or you thought about going to, you start building another direction that basically you start adding fillers. And if the fillers are not real healthy fillers, now I know running sounds amazing. And I understand. I used to, believe it or not, I used to go towards working out to help with my trauma. I was a very physical energy, a very, very physical energy. And so I get it. And I understand joining the running clubs. I used to do that with weightlifting and classes and exercise groups. But at some point, at the end of the day, go to your tried and true too, because they don't need you to go sleep with them. They don't need you to go do something for them. They just want to be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Life is always busy. I mean, that's just the nature of life, right? You're going to be busy, but that's, if it's not in this 5 minutes, it's later on. Why do you think I have two phones?
Yeah.
One for my 400 text messages a day and one phone for the people that, I have in my life too. So.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a stranger to those that love you to find yourself. Does that make sense?
It does. I just kind of feel like there's nothing that this is gonna sound silly, but like, to me, it almost feels just like there's nothing to be done. There's not like a productivity there. Like, so it's just like, I just process the wave as it comes. And, it doesn't, at least on a conscious level, it hasn't felt overwhelming.
Is it productive now with what you're doing? When you're running from it, is that productive now? If you're feeling those heightened emotions and you're doing something, you're finding someone to see temporarily, is that a good replacement? I mean, I'm not answering it for you, but it may be. You might be like, hey, listen, I'm looking for a whole different life. And I understand that. But are the replacements what you're really looking for?
Well, maybe I don't know then. Quite honestly, I actually have no idea what I think I need right now. I don't know what is good.
Right. And I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to like.
Okay. I'm so all ears, though. You have no idea.
Well, I know, and you are extremely intelligent. You are highly read. You are very analytical. Also, you're the right brain too, because you're creative and you're intuitive. But I would really like to put in my 2 cents. Please stop scouring the internet for causations of why you wore red shoes and why you wore butterflies and why. Because what that does is dig the hole bigger.
Well, I'm not seeking it.
Problem.
like that the problem is like I promise you when I say I've stopped touching it in the physical world. So when I really mean this when I say like I meant it when I said August, I'm not looking at anything. And so all that what I've promised myself is whatever comes up, the guides are allowing to come up. And I promise myself that if I want to cry, I will allow tears, but then after I allow like very few tears, just to allow myself to not shut it down coldly. So I get a little bit whimpery, I get a little bit teary, and then I let myself feel that, and then I move it through because if I go further, then I'm stuck there. But I promised myself, like, as those details where it's like, I remember that. And then I just told my guides, like, just bring me what you want me to eat on, and I will. And then if I stop being able to eat those bites, help me reduce them. Like, but I just said, like, I don't have control of this processing because I don't have a knowingness to how. So those little details, it's like, they are everywhere. But then, like, like an example, like I was just watching TV. I was doing nothing but watching TV. And I remembered out of nowhere, we grew angel trumpets.
Mm-hmm.
That is a highly psychedelic and toxic and memory erasing flower to the point where Australia was wanting to ban it. But I forgot that was in my childhood, that we just had it. I remember it was always around. Like, and so these little like things that they're just like, they remind me almost of like splinters. And they're just like kind of coming out now and then. And then in the middle of it, I'm still operating exactly like I'm really proud because I'm still operating really highly. Like, no, my job is good. Everyone still likes me there. All my students are good. I was at the fair this weekend. Like, I've dropped no balls. I'm not overeating. I'm not over drinking. I'm not over smoking. So it's almost like everything I've been doing. I mean, my house is messy and today I'm going to clean that. But it's like, if I looked at my life and the bomb that I have just accidentally dropped on myself, that has eviscerated every single, aspect. For me to be doing as well as I am, I think is a win.
Absolutely. And you're right. And I'm not telling you it's not. That's obviously not what we're here for. But just keep it in check. Because those that don't deserve the power during trauma get a whole lot of it. Okay? So just be mindful that at some point letting go is cutting their tethers from you and
Mm-hmm.
letting them do their own thing. And it's not up to me, it's up to you and your higher self and your guides and what you need if you want to reconnect with your brother. But again, the street goes both ways, right? He could have reached out to you a million times. And speculatively, we recognize he's probably no better off than they are, okay? Or no, his mind is not as clear as one would hope for. So, do you really want to go open that Pandora's box after all these years?
No, and that's why I haven't. But I feel like when I get low, which I think I'm allowed to, I start to worry about him. Like, I have a lot of people and I know about spirit and I know about these things that keep me safe and he doesn't. And that seems unfair.
You don't know that. You don't know that he
That's
doesn't.
true. No, that's true.
That's not...
Hey, man, we don't know what that's a great point. That's a great point.
He may be waiting for you to come in so he can get you into his web. You don't know. And I'm not saying be afraid of him, but be realistic.
Yeah.
I am not trying to turn you away from your healing. I'm simply saying be mindful when you're healing, that you don't pick up bad habits to replace the trauma. Okay.
Well, I guess
then you're just healing one trauma after another. So it sounds like you're doing well.
I don't know. Now I'm wondering. I don't know.
And again, realistically and honestly, you haven't reached out in a few weeks.
I'm sorry. I didn't even, honestly. Fuck.
It's okay. And you have, and you're a lot like me. You have many changes that come about in the week, and you forget that someone else might want to hear about them. And so it's again, it's understandable, but it's also, how do I put it so it makes sense? You've had a lot of activity in the last 2 weeks, and you've changed a lot of things, and you've had a lot of trauma, and you've had a lot of success stories. I know you're busy, and you've got clients and classes, and life is good in that direction. But that's a whole lot of stuff to happen and not hear from you. Does that make sense? And that's, and I'm not, and it's okay because I haven't reached out to you because I'm busy too. We're both busy. My point is, don't be afraid to reach out to those you care about, that care about you in return when you're suffering.
Well, I didn't thank you. And I do. The thing that I get, I think this is literally probably part of it, but I've thought about reaching out, and I always get the same feeling, which is just me. It's all me, but it's always like this again. I don't know. It's almost just like I wish because it's just like you helped me so much on the podcast, and like you have been helping me, and I feel like already I've asked a lot of you, and I just don't know how to
remember
what.
That's what families do. Remember?
Yeah. I'm so awkward at knowing how to ask for help. Like I'm not great at that. And I think it's just kind of like, well, and plus because it's like, I do like distraction. I do like to like look at other things.
Well, absolutely. Everyone does. I mean, distraction's a good thing. And and again, I don't want you to feel that I am taking apart your direction, nor judging you for what you've chosen. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, don't forget the people that are waiting to find out if you're still alive, okay? And to make sure you're okay.
Well, I'm sure there's also a part of it too that's like, if anyone can see me, it's you. And I wonder if, I'm sure there's a part of me that's like, shit, I'm not doing well. Maybe I don't want her to see that. But the irony is I'm not doing anything bad. Like that's it. That I'm not doing
a good thing.
Yeah. I'm there's nothing negative that I'm afraid of you seeing. It's more just like, if I'm trying to act happy to every single other person in my life and I'm not, you're the only, like, there's a reason I'm trying to act that way, I'm sure. And it's like, I'm sure that's part of it too. And so I'm sorry. I have been.
You don't have to apologize. It isn't, I'm not trying to challenge you. It's just something that just to just if you didn't see it or recognize it, just a little throw in there and go, hey, hello, knock, knock.
Thank you.
I know you're struggling, knock, knock, because you're pulling away. I know you're not.
No, thank you. I mean, I'm trying to find, if we're being coldly honest, I am really trying to find for a thing to keep fighting for. And not in the sense of like excitement and fun and the things that make me, the things that make me giddy, the things that make me laugh and happy. And like, those are things that are integral to me. When I look around my life, I'm struggling to see the things that make me want to be that way. So as I try to kind of process that and create detachment from those things, as it feels that the color has kind of been drawn out of it a little bit, and trying to maybe go and like find that, even if it's something that I understand has a transience to it, but it's like, and I know you're right. Like there's also the acknowledgement of like, you're 1000% right. But I have to look at like, something's going to give soon. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So not in a negative way, but like, I'm not drinking too much. I'm not doing anything destructive to myself in the ways I normally do. Good. But eventually, like, I just need to make sure that like, it's almost like I have to pick my least evil. Because I don't know who else.
We're going to get busy again pretty soon because we've got to get that retreat planned for next year.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I haven't worked on the website, like.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. It's sometimes we do have to go to the back burner so we can cope. And sometimes that's what others will see is I'm not really here. I'm there. And so a little bit of that is self-preservation. You're doing a little bit of that, but that's okay.
I don't know how to be okay.
You're going to be okay. Hey, Brutus wouldn't let you not be okay. I mean, he's probably going to go there and play with the cats pretty soon. He mentioned your cats the other day. He said, I've not met them. And I'm like, you were with me when we went over.
They've been so good.
They're good, sweet pies. You're going to be okay. Because you know the good thing is that even when we have darkness, we have light later, right? Sometimes we just have to call it, these weeks for you have been a long night. And you're coming into the daylight again. Okay. Yeah. And also, not to change subjects, but we're going to have to get Derek on a podcast.
I am so excited at the thought of that. I really would love that.
Yeah.
And I think he'd like it.
Oh, I feel he would too. I feel it would be fun for him. So we'll try to orchestrate that. However it's going to look, I don't know yet. He'll be here Wednesday afternoon, and he leaves like 5 a.m. Tuesday. So Monday he'll be done by afternoon.
Well,
but some place between Wednesday and we'll have dinner Thursday.
Perfect.
Thursday is Brian is cooking all sorts of barbecue.
Yay!
So we'll be able to pick his brain. Doug and Miranda are coming. It'll be a big group. But yes, don't be shy.
I won't.
If I have to come pick you up, let me know. And for me to say that, as much as I hate to drive over there, you know that, right? Okay, so
it is. I would never. I was never going to bail on that, but if it crossed my mind 100 times, only because I know that I know. I'm trying.
It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes it just bees the way bees, right?
Yeah. And I think
we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
Thank you.
Rough times usually do eventually end. So just be optimistic with that. And I'm glad that you're taking good care of your health with the exercise. Again, remember, you do have, you're kind of doing what I did. Okay. So I want to say something to you about that. When I was your age, I feel like I should have a cane. When I was your age, I worked out. I was doing all sorts of things. I was pushing my body to the limits. And at 62 now, I need back surgery. I need hip surgery. I had shoulder replacement. Now, I'm not saying if you do this, it will equate to that. I'm simply saying when you push your body too hard, you need to recover. Yeah. So make sure in the interim, because I know your back was bothering you, don't push the envelope.
Yeah.
When your back's bothering you, don't make it your 10K. Okay.
Yeah.
Be good with your body, and take that even the other step, which is that means more massages. That means whirlpools. So all that helps. So just be mindful of that, because I did that, and I know I did that, and I look back now and go, yeah, that's great. I'm glad I had such fun, because now I might as well get a key.
Well, I think it just it's. We were going to talk about mirrors at one point on the podcast, and there's an understanding, and I wish that to explain, and this is selfish, and like if someone sees this, they see it, but it's right now I don't know who or what I am or what I'm doing. I know, but I also don't know, and I'm trying to rectify that slowly and kindly and cautiously. In the interim of that, it has always benefited me to have a mirror when I'm at my worst. And I'm sure that my past exhibits that, and that there are bruises from that. But also,
if you need an image and you see a fat old woman on the other side of that mirror,
say hello. No, it's me.
Hello, it's me.
No. Well, and it's like the reason I was so honest about what I'm not bringing to the table is because there is some fun to that, to share life with and be like, I did this today. And I did this today. And it's like, unfortunately, right before this happened, I didn't lose, but I removed all of my friends. And it's one of those things where, man, it's just like, I almost feel belligerent a little bit of like, and not at you, but just of myself and of the requirements I try to hold to myself, but then of the reality of what it is. And there's a part of me that's just like, I keep saying this and I mean it because I mean this so much, but it's like, if this breaks me and if I am unable to, whatever the kid, all I want to do is just like commit severe arson in the houses that I'm aware of where they are, and then just go to jail. And there's that belligerence of like,
we're not doing that.
No, but the fact that thought, it's representing something in my energy that just says, there's a part of me that's very much holding on to what I believe is right.
Yes.
And a very petulant side of me that's saying, what the fuck, why would I even keep trying to do the thing that's right? And I don't live in that space, but I recognize like that then I'm battling that too. So and I know this is like pity me, like I know I kind of marinating on some victimhood, I'm sure, but it's like every fucking where I turn to try and keep it together, it's like it's the wrong answer somewhere. And then the only answer seems to be that like I just heal in time. But like I'm in a very isolated situation, and it's one of those situations where it I don't know, it just feels unfair that way too.
The hardest thing about healing is that it's best to do the healing when you're not looking for a relationship. Because when you're healing and you're looking for a relationship, you're using the person as a mirror for your broken parts. And the problem becomes is you find someone who's incompatible with who you really are when you're having a good day, not when you're having a bad day. The worst time to find true love is when you are not in a good position in your day-to-day.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people that all the time. They're like, if I could just find a man. And I'm like, no. If you could just find yourself, then go looking for a man. And then you're going to mirror someone that's a whole lot better than what you're going to go get when you feel very lost. And again, it's the gene pool. Do you want A or do you, oh, that's terrible. Brutus just said, no gene pool. He's going, it's prime, choice, or select. Now I'm a little taken back. This is not an R-rated podcast, okay?
Right.
But do you see, when we search for a permanent relationship, we should do it with a clear head. Otherwise, what we're seeing is we're seeing in ourselves. And so if we're seeing something broken in ourselves, we're going to mirror that in someone else and find it. We're going to find someone who's going to exhibit either similar traits or traits that kind of play out the same way, but maybe a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does that make sense?
I think there's
misery loves company. That's the old adage. Misery loves company. When we're miserable, we're going to find someone who, that when we recover from our misery, that we will recognize that they're a horrible person. Most people that are with narcissists met them when they were in the lower parts of their life. They didn't meet them when they were on their game. Because if they'd have met them on their game, they would have went, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. But because they're looking for any attention, a narcissist is going to be right there full force in those few moments of, let me open the door for you, let me help you, let me do this, until then they're ordering dinner for you because you're not smart enough to order your own. You see, we want to meet permanent relationships when we're healthy.
Well, I guess there's a dark aspect of me that's at play in this that I have to admit is the aspect of, if there's an individual that I'm already understanding is not a viable option, and I've said that, then I don't feel that I'm held to a standard to be a good person, because I'm not, I hate to be, this is so true though, but it's like, they
could see the worst of you and not you wouldn't care.
And I wouldn't care, and I wouldn't have to fix it. Because this isn't something I'm trying to make viable. I'm just trying to be allowed to be a piece of shit and not go drink to do it or go do drugs to do it, and to just get laid and to just like have connection, even though I know that there's so much poison in my energy right now. It's not even a viable thing to, but there's also, if there's that poison in them, then I'm not poisoning them. Does that make any sense?
Misery loves company. Oh, it makes a lot of sense. It's misery loves company. And
so it's either, am I miserable with him, or am I miserable with alcohol, or am I miserable with my memories?
Right.
Because one of the ways...
Right. And again, it's like anything in life. Like what you mentioned, your last comment was alcohol. I can tell you, I know plenty of married couples that I see in my classes, and in really in separate sessions. And what I hear is, my drinking is elevated because my partner's drinking is significant. So then I always say, okay, which one wants to die first? Are you on a race?
Oh, wow.
Because you're obviously going to. You're obviously going down a path that's going to be detrimental in the end. You know, who's going on dialysis first? Who needs a liver transplant first? So, yes, we do. It's a reality, right? So when we feel poisoned and we go look for someone who's poisoned, we don't get a chance to grow. So if we're going to do that, and plus think of it this way, and I have to be wise, and I'm asking Brutus to help me be wise with this. If I am feeling ugly and hateful inside, isn't that a bit predatory to look for a relationship?
Well, I feel that if you are being very honest about why you're there and what you're there for, almost kind of a carnal contract, I do think that we have responsibility to choose in or out of that.
Okay.
And I feel I've given him a choice in.
Okay. So is this okay? If you can look at someone and say, listen, I don't want any emotional contact other than let's get laid. I'm going to meet you one day a week. We're going to have drinks. You're my friends with benefits. And he's like, cool, let's do that. What, and it just say, just for kicks and grins. Month goes by. How do you see that person? Do you see that person as, oh, this is such a great person. I want this person in my life. They've got this going for them and that going for them. Is that someone that you would want to? Your partner's in crime, basically. And the crime act is, and I'm not saying being carnal is crime. That's not where I'm going. Please
right?
understand.
No, I know.
But you're partnering up.
Correct.
So misery is partnering up with misery. Where does that go? Where does that go? Does it have any good game, right? Just like Bonnie and Clyde, they're two birds of a feather. They were both in traumatic states of mind. So they go and they didn't give a shit about anything because who cares? They were both feeding off each other's dark side of the soul. And so they were both feeding on it. So then nothing mattered. They didn't have a personal life anymore because they melded into the same negative thought process, which was who gives a shit.
Well, is there no version, and I don't know the answer to this, but in my most romanticized, optimistic, but also accepting the dark version in my head, the thought is like, I feel very alone on an intimacy level, on these levels. I recognize that he feels the same way. I don't know that relief is not nothing. I'm not saying it's a path to a great outcome.
No.
But I'm not sure being alone is a bad or is a good outcome.
And I'm not judging it. I really am not. I mean, I'm far more hopefully advanced than to judge that. But I also know that's what prostitution is. Okay. I mean, quite honestly, it's non-paid prostitution. That's all that is. Okay. And that's okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not judging you or judging anybody who does that. But I'm simply saying, let's call it what it is. That's what it is. It's unpaid prostitution. And if that's okay, then have at it. Be careful. Because you're also probably jumping into the gene pool of D rather than A.
And that's not what I'm trying to do either.
I know it's not.
Yeah.
See, you're trying to find someone who won't judge you. But see, what you need to do is find your importance first. You're extremely pretty. You're excessively intelligent. You're more than just intuitive. You're extremely high tech when it comes to your intuition. Okay? You have sustained an independent lifestyle. You take care of yourself. You're not running from loan sharks or card sharks or pimps, okay?
No.
You've done a really spectacular job of being good at what you do. During the dark moments, which are not yours in the first place. Remember, that coat doesn't represent you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit, if you're going to burn something, burn the coat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right.
The coat is the symbolism here.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you take it out of you and put it in something that's an innate object, it's going to help you to see it better. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I said I used to put my father on like a coat. That's how I could see whatever he was doing at any time of the day. But I didn't want to wear that coat. That coat was diseased. So the coat that you're wearing is diseased. Don't be looking for love in it.
But how do I take it off?
By demanding that you do. By saying, I'm just going to do it today. It may hurt like hell. It's like quitting smoking or drinking or anything.
Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to give up. I don't know what am I supposed to give up? I've tried.
Give up your negative feelings about yourself. Give up punishing yourself. Give up the negative self-talk. You don't qualify for that. You didn't pass that test. You have higher scores in a different direction. You didn't pass the low quality test, okay? You're high quality, okay? So you've got to allow yourself to go back to that. And I, unfortunately, as a giving spiritual guidance,
yes,
I can say a lot more than people that are giving psychological guidance,
mm-hmm,
right?
Absolutely.
And I'm just simply going to say to you, intuitively, you're putting yourself for the ringer when there doesn't need to be a ringer. Okay?
By going into this new thing, or by not.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You're not resolving this. You're wallowing in it. And there is a huge, enormous difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we wallow, we find something less than to go wallow with. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We go wallow in the direction, and like the drinking, the alcohol, you're not doing that, but you've got another vice. You just pulled out another vice. So you don't need that. Your trauma is still real, and it's still rich in your energy. And you can do something about it. You can choose to not have it. Now, I know people say, well, come on, seriously? You can choose to not have it. And I know that for a fact. You can choose to know it existed. You can choose to every now and then have a little memorial service for that younger version of you. But you are not that energy. And I feel a little responsible too, because I'm the one that's been trying to get you to get your passport, which got you involved in your mother, and all the memories started coming back because she was so hateful. Your mother reacted to you like a very, and if she could reach, I hope she's listening. Your mother's very low rent. Okay? I don't care if she lives in $1 million home. Your mother's very low rent. The way she spoke to you was horrendous. It was, if a client would have talked to me like that, I would have blocked him before I finished reading it. You are not that person. And you wouldn't have even had that. But you asked her a simple question she couldn't handle. You haven't talked to her in years. You are not her. My dear, you are not her. Okay? She doesn't qualify. And I don't care, honestly don't care, all the listeners that say, well, she's your mother, you have to. No, she's not.
Yeah, but it's like
she didn't raise you right. Okay?
But I don't know how to block out the coming of knowingness of what she did to us. Because it's different, because it's not like I remember it. It's like I am remembering it, and I'm asking them to help me not. I'm not seeking it. And that's a really different anger. And it comes out of nowhere because I don't know it. It enrages me that I had to take care of the plants that did that to me. I took care of. Like, that's so fucked up.
I know. I don't have an easy answer for you, sweetie. I really don't. And I can't just magically wish this to go away for you. I wish I could. You know, I mean, damn it, I'm more intuitive. Why can't we do this?
Because it can't.
Because we can. I know. I can't make it better for you. I could just try to help you to see that it's not your problem.
Yeah, you're right, and I know you're right, and I'm trying to convince the human me that that's true, because I know that. Like, the reason I'm okay is because I know that.
That's right. It's not your problem. If it was your problem, you'd still be back there doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Not your circus. Not your circus. Okay? Not your monkeys. And at some point, the pain will feel a little less, And maybe you'll go back to thinking on that lines that, well, you're right. There isn't a need for me to know more. I don't need to know all the nuances. I don't need to know this or that. I don't need to take the seam ripper.
Well, I feel that
and go
now.
in
Like,
there
I'm not trying to.
Yeah. I know you're not. And I know you're hurting.
I just don't know how to stop them from coming up.
You block them. You say no more. You can't solve it all in a day, okay? But you can begin solving it. You can chip away that elephant in the room, because the elephant in the room is making you feel unsafe. It's making you feel less than. It's making you feel all the emotions that one would feel under that type of trauma. And you're none of those things. Had someone taken these thoughts from you, you would be a vibrant, not horrible, wonderful, not horrible, wonderful human being. You are wonderful now anyway. But my point is, sometimes it's the memories. It is the I heard this, I know this, I felt this, that get in our adult way. It's kind of like carrying the burden. It's the torch. We carry the torch for our own trauma our entire life. And I just think it's just not worth carrying.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I agree. And I'm doing what I really feel strongly about the fact that, like, I've been so disciplined about not letting myself stay there. And I think that, like, I just hope, I pray that you don't judge me, or that, no, I don't get judged. I guess.
Wait, I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you.
If I entertain a train wreck, that train wreck's in 2 months, at least it's 2 months where I got to do something fun that was maybe distracting from something that's really scary. And maybe I'll deal with that train wreck. But it's like, there's part of me that just, I feel panicky about feeling like I have to do this perfectly healthy, because I don't know if I'll be able to.
You don't have to do it perfectly healthy. Okay? You don't. And you have to do it the way you need to. But I also would prefer that you find a different analogy than a train wreck.
I know.
Because that implies a lot of pretty, what's the word for it? Severe thoughts. And I don't feel that those type of thoughts need to be unaddressed if you continue to feel that way. Okay.
Well, no, you were saying kind of like like if 2 months the thing that I'm doing blows up, and I was like, if it doesn't, it does. You know what I mean? That's what I meant. Nothing crazy macabre. But just like, there's almost just a desire to externalize my life for a minute, because I can't be inside of here all the time. It's not working.
You must do what you must do, but at the end of the day, bring back Sterling. Okay. Because Sterling is a pretty damn good girl. She does a lot of work. She has a good life in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you so much. I'm sorry. Like, see, now I feel bad again. I feel like all we've done is just address this again. Like, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Hey, I do want to give a shout out. We've got a lot of viewers that I've been talking to lately, and I'm very excited to have them. Thank you all. Dana, I can't wait to see you this week. Dana's been following our podcast. Just a lot of really good people that have reached out, and I'm very grateful, and I'm very honored that they're interested in what we do. I also want to add something to it real quick, if I may. We do have a retreat coming up. We're all going to have ourselves pretty well situated by then, so don't worry.
Yes. It's going to be amazing.
We won't set the place on fire. Okay?
No, goodness, no.
But
I'll need it just as much as y'all, guys.
Coming. Some online classes coming very, very soon that we're orchestrating. Sterling is an amazing webmaster. Me, not so much. And so we're going to get a lot of that done. But I wanted to give a shout out. Life is sticky and messy. It gets down difficult, down hard and dirty sometimes. And, we have to kind of go through the mud, and, sometimes we just got to stay there for a bit. But always know that we're designed by teams, by spirit world around us to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have to carry the heavy burdens alone.
Mm. Okay. I love you so much, and I'm going to figure this out. I don't have a choice.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
And I know part of it's me too. I'm busy all the time, so it's not like I'm going, hey girl, what you doing? Because I'm not. But the busier I got, the more I knew that you were not around. And I started worrying that you were not around. And then I was like, okay, I even told Brian, I said, something's wrong. I need to reach out. And so I was like, well, this was yesterday. And I said, okay, well, fine. So
it's just been a struggle. It's been not great, but it's also not bad. I've been really proud of myself the last couple of weeks because
I'm glad.
I feel like this should have gone way worse.
And anytime you want me to go talk to your mom, I'll be happy to. You know, I don't have a problem with that. I just wanted to give you your damn passport so you can go to Japan with us.
I know. I love you. I know you've got a reading to get to. You know, in this, we've been doing this now a year and a half with the podcast. And, you know, it's one of those things where there's our journey as much as there's the journey of the people that we help. And so I feel so grateful and so proud.
Incredible journey. And, you know, we're both being kind of tested right now, my dear. And I'm not trying to, you know, go into well, I got problems too. That's not where I'm going. But I'll tell you, it's been testing. I mean, there's just all sorts of, you know, I'm staying at my office now, you know, I've told you that. But just kind of.
Wait, you are?
Like I am. I know. So you didn't know that either.
No, I thought you're not moving.
Well, not yet. I will eventually. I want to. I mean, I'm looking at space that's bigger because I need a group room and I need a room big enough for you and Taylor to be able to come in and, you know, do things too if you want. Okay. So that's my goal. So I can't do that with what I have in, you know, my little box. But I'm staying there. They asked me to stay. They actually, it was kind of bizarre. They read the thing outside my door, and then they actually went and did some research on me on the internet. I thought, great. I guess I'm moving out now, right? No. And the guy said he's the accounting manager for that company, and he said, you know, I need to tell you, I really like you.
Oh, wow.
I'm drawn to you for what you do for people. He said, so we're going to do a month to month. I've talked to the owner of the building. We're going to do a month to month. We'll give you a 30-day notice when it gets closer. And yes, we may end up doing only an IT here, but you can stay and I'll give you a 30-day notice. And that way you have time to find more space later. But
wow.
We want you to
I just had a feeling that they weren't the one forcing you out.
Well, and you know, I say every day, I say, good morning, beautiful center, and good morning, beautiful office. So I'm kind of one with the building. I wish I could wrap my arms around it and just take it, but it's too expensive for the whole thing. But it's so far so good. But a lot of the clients are, you know, scattered like stray cats right now because no one knows where I am, and I don't even know where I am half the time. So we'll see.
We're just trying to find ourselves in the most literal or metaphysical way.
But we're going to get there, right? We're going to get there because that's what we do, right? We live the best life we can, as best as we can, and we move on. And that's the beauty of choice and the beauty of being imperfect humans.
Doing our best, man. Oh my gosh.
Doing our best.
I love you.
Doing our best, I'll tell you. Doing our best.
I cannot wait to see you Thursday. We'll figure out. I'll text you whenever I'm done with I'll text you tonight, and maybe we can figure out.
Not this Thursday. It's the week of the 16th.
Yes. Okay. And we'll sort that out.
We'll sort through a few things. Okay.
I love you.
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Thank you so much. Sorry, I was so not. I felt like I was a little. I didn't mean to be. I just got scared. I was like, I felt like somebody. I'm just gonna cap this off. I just want to say, like, I responded as though you were taking something from me, like saying I couldn't do something and I got panicky. And I'm sorry. I just don't know what I'm doing right now.
And I'm sorry if it was presented that way, but I wanted to tweak you a little bit. I wanted to get you out of your headspace.
I love you so much. Thank you so much.
I love you too.
We're going to do it. I love you. Take care.
You got it. You too. Bye, sweetie.
I love you. I'm sorry.